Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another Fright Night Friday Blu-ray update. So today, we're going to take a look at 8 Blu-rays that I picked up during the recent Scream Factory summer sale. Yeah, so Shout Factory had a whole bunch of stuff on for half price through their website. Now, a lot of people said, well, it's not that great a deal because it's basically just reduced everything to what Amazon regularly sells it for. Well, that may be so, but the simple fact of the matter was there was a lot of stuff on the website that is exclusive to the website, and I thought, well, while I'm getting that, I mean, it's not going to be more or less than what Amazon charges anyway, why not? I'll just get a bunch of them. I originally had 29 items in my cart, but did not have $800 to spend on things, so I thought, let's pare it down a bit. So I pared it down to the 8 essential ones, the ones that, a lot of titles that I had my eye on for a while, or ones that I, was curious about, wanted to check out. Actually, funny enough, the vast majority of movies that I picked up this time around are actually ones I've seen. Oh my god! Yeah, how often do I buy stuff that I haven't seen before? Because, I've heard good things, or decided to take a chance, looked interesting. Honestly, I have pretty good judgment where that goes. Also, it probably doesn't hurt that I have pretty wide and varied taste in movies to begin with, so not much displeases me. So I found a lot of hidden gems that way, in particular with the Scream Factory stuff. I find generally pretty trustworthy label. I mean, if you like if you like most of their stuff, you're probably going to like pretty much all of their stuff, because it all kind of caters to the same sort of interests, cheesy, low-budget sci-fi and horror goodness. Alrighty, well, let's see what I picked up at the Scream Factory sale on Blu-ray today on Fright Night Friday on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Well, let's start right off the bat with the one you guys probably know I got, namely Robot Jocks. Yeah, now, not much more I can say about this that Rosie and I didn't already say in our, rather in-depth review of it a couple weeks ago. So if you want to see our thoughts on the movie, go and check that out. I'll, maybe if I remember, I'll put a link in the description down below. But lots of fun, giant robots beating the crap out of each other. You gotta love it. So there you go. And I showed this in the review. I don't know why I'm showing this again now. But also a reversible cover with the alternate poster art there, which is pretty cool. And I think got some different pictures for the back cover as well. Different robots. Anyway, robots. So this is, of course, by Empire Pictures. Not long before they became Full Moon Pictures. And under the Full Moon label, they actually produced 2 more giant robot movies, namely Crash and Burn and Robot Wars. Sadly, neither of which are currently available on Blu-ray. I'm hoping that changes at some point. But they are available individually on DVD or as a double feature that has both of them. And then Robot Jocks, of course, you can get from Scream Factory. So pretty cool. Now, this is one that I'd had my eye on for a while. I actually have it on VHS. I don't know where it is, packed away somewhere. But I mean, I've seen this before. I can't remember if I don't think I saw this in the theater. Maybe I did. No, I don't think I did see it in the theater. I saw it later. I wanted to see it in the theater because in the theater it was, of course, in 3D. And this was 80s 3D, which was basically the kind of 3D that we have now. The polarized with the dark lenses. Yeah, the good 3D. Yeah, so that actually started in the 80s. Not everyone knows that. I think it was all red and blue before. Yeah, no, we had the polarized 3D in the 80s. That was my introduction to 3D. And then it disappeared. It was just kind of a brief fad. And then it came back briefly, and they had reverted back to the red and blue, which was a huge regression, I thought, because the red and blue has never worked as well as the polarized, like ever. And then now, of course, not only do we have polarized back in the theater, but we've got Blu-ray 3D and 3D TVs, which are no longer being made, apparently. I still don't have one. Anyway, there are alternatives. Yeah, so we got the good 3D back, and we can have that good 3D in our homes, which is pretty cool. So anyway, I'm, of course, talking about Metal Storm 3D. This is the first time that Metal Storm has ever been available in 3D on any home video format. All the previous releases have been just the 2D. So if we crack this puppy open here, we've got, yeah, so on one side we got the 2D version, on the other side we got the 3D version. So if you got a 3D TV, you're all set. And then if we take a look underneath, we basically just have some, just a big kind of shot of one of the sets there, so pretty cool. All right. But, yeah, I remember liking this. It stars Jeffrey Byron, who I, of course, remember primarily from The Dungeon Master, a.k.a. Rage War. He was the hero of that. But yeah, Jeffrey Byron was kind of the low-budget sci-fi movie hero guy in the 80s, you know, on a lot of direct-to-video things, and you know, low-budget stuff like this. Was this? Yeah, this was basically Albert Band and Charles Band again. So Albert Band International Productions. So this is before even Empire Films. So very much part of the same history here. Charles Band, Albert Band, Stuart Gordon, all guys who just love movies and know how to do stuff that's entertaining. Next up, picked up a double feature. I got this one for one of the movies on here. The other one I've actually never seen. Skinslip tells me the other one is hilarious, by the way. So I picked up the double bill of Millennium, no relation to the Lance Henriksen series, by the way, and r.o.t.o.r. So r.o.t.o.r is basically about a, you know, robot, sort of like an early version of RoboCop, I guess. Is it an early version? No, later version, because it was the following year. Anyway, it's kind of a robot cop. It's from 1988. Millennium is the one that I got it for, though, because I remember first hearing about this in Starlog magazine. They had a big article about it interviewing John Varley, who wrote the original novel, and actually adapted his own novel for the screenplay, which is pretty cool when an author does that. And so this is the movie adaptation of his novel. And I remember reading the article about him, and he said he was really excited to you know, visit the set and see all these people working so hard to bring these things to life that previously he'd only had in his own imagination and put down on the printed page. So he said it was kind of trippy. But I've always really liked it. It's basically a sci-fi time travel story where it follows Chris Christopherson, who plays a plane crash investigator. And there were some strange things about some recent plane crashes that suggest that maybe not everything is as it seems. And then Cheryl Ladd is in it as well as a mysterious woman who always seems to be around, but he's not quite sure what her deal is. Anyway, I won't say too much because part of the fun of Millennium is the mystery of what's going on. And it's just a really good, very underappreciated sci-fi movie, like time travel movie, and I've always really liked it a lot. I remember when I saw this originally, I rented it. I rented it and I watched it like 2 or 3 times. I was so impressed by it. So really happy to have it on Blu-ray. I basically watched it as soon as I got it. I couldn't wait. r.o.t.o.r I haven't watched yet. That's like one of the few out of this whole batch that I haven't seen. But yeah, I was saying Skinslip says it's apparently hilarious, so definitely looking forward to checking that out. Next up, I got the first 3 quite a while ago. Love them all, and I haven't seen this one basically since it was new, but thought, yeah, I should definitely get that to complete the set. We have Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates for the final time in Psycho 4. Now, mind you, this is mostly sort of a flashback movie, so we actually have young Norman Bates, played by Henry Thomas. Yes, the young boy from E.T., as the young Norman Bates. So this was done in, when was this, 88? No, it was 1990. So this was 7 years after, 7 years? 8 years. 8 years after E.T. So he would have been, I don't know, in his late teens, early 20s, somewhere around there. But Anyway, pretty cool. Basically, Norman calls into a radio talk show and is just kind of telling his story, and we see the story unfold in flashback with Henry Thomas as young Norman, and I forget who plays the mother. Olivia Hussey. Yeah, so then it's Olivia Hussey as his mother. Is his mother named Norma in this? I can't remember. So I know in Bates Motel his mother is named Norma, so it's Norma and Norman. I can't remember if that's the same in this. I'm gonna have to give this a rewatch because I literally have not seen it in about 25 years. Literally not since it was new. It came out, I rented it, I watched it. The end. That's pretty much the whole story. All right, so next up, we got some pretty cool kind of limited edition stuff. Now this one, again, I saw this pretty much when it was new, rented it when it came out, thought it was, you know, not bad. Really wanted to get the Blu-ray because this was one of the original Scream Factory releases, sort of one of their first wave of 13 movies. I was really surprised to get this with the slipcover because the slipcover is out of print. Apparently the movie is not. I thought the movie was out of print as well. Apparently the movie is not out of print, but the slipcover is long out of print. It just had one run of it, and that was it. So I was really thrilled that I got it. I picked up Prison, and there you go. And as always, I like to have the slipcover so I can have the original movie poster art there, and get different pictures on the back as well. So that's pretty cool. So really nice to have one of these Wave 1 Scream Factory titles that actually managed to get the slipcover. I couldn't believe it. Probably a lot of other people ordered it from the Scream Factory sale and did not get the slipcover. So feeling extra lucky there. Really, really happy about that. It's a bit of a shame that HMV is gone because, of course, at HMV is where I would buy most of my Scream Factory titles, and there I could make sure I got the slipcover because I would be getting it off the shelf. But no such luck now. It's basically, there's nowhere in town that carries them, so I'm stuck with mail order and just crossing my fingers and hoping I get them. I guess basically what that means is going forward, get the collector's editions as they come out so that I don't miss out on the slipcovers. So anyway, that's that. So next up, picked up some limited editions. Now these are ones that are properly limited editions. Apparently Scream Factory is not going to be doing these anymore because they didn't sell as well as they had hoped. So Scream Factory put out 5 titles to kind of test out the limited edition. They're kind of trying to do the Twilight Time thing. You know, Twilight Time has had great success doing these super, very limited editions. With Twilight Time, they limit their releases to 3,000 copies, usually. Scream Factory decided to go one better. They limited theirs to 1,000 copies. So they had several titles that came out. Only one of which was Deathstalker 1 and 2, was a double feature release. That one sold out almost instantly. I missed that one. I think Skinslip even missed it. We've both been, you know, ticked about that. And, of course, immediately it skyrocketed in price on the collector's market. But the other 4 titles just kind of sat there. Like nobody cared. There were ones that I cared about. Like there was a couple in particular I was really interested. Well, 3 of them actually I was really interested in. The other 2, well, Deathstalker I wanted obviously. The last one I didn't really know much about, but I'd seen some of the creature effects and thought it looked cool. Anyway, why don't I show you which ones I got? So a while back I picked up Message from Space. If you go many updates back, that was one of the limited edition ones. Next up we have Up from the Depths, which is basically you know, horrible creature in the water and it's gonna eat you. I belong to a group on Facebook called the Practical Effects Group. Really cool group, by the way, because a lot of people who actually worked on these films are also members of that group. So if you see something that you like, or you know you want to know more about some practical effects, you can actually talk to a lot of the guys who did the effects, which is really freaking cool. And a lot of these guys are freaking legends in the industry, and they're just, you know, hey, how's it going? Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I worked on that movie, you know, and they tell you stories about how they, you know, did this creature effect, or, you know, what it was like working on that movie. And it's just awesome. Plus, a lot of these guys have huge archives of behind the scenes photos that have never been seen anywhere else, and they post them to the group. So it is like one of the most fascinating Facebook groups. Like if like me, you just love old school practical effects, it is an absolute must. It's called the Practical Effects Group. Seek it out on Facebook. It is so damn good. Anyway, in that group, at one point, someone posted pictures of the creature from this, and I thought it looked awesome. Apparently the movie's kind of so-so, but I basically grabbed this just on the basis of thinking that the creature looked so cool. So it's not anywhere near as big as it's depicted on the cover painting, but isn't that always the case? Yeah, so I grabbed it because, you know, limited edition, thought the creature looked cool, gave me an opportunity to pimp out the Practical Effects group on Facebook, so there you go. Next up, I remember seeing this when it was new. I have not seen it since. I do own it on VHS. I never got around to rewatching it. So I've literally not seen this since it was new back in 1982. Yes, I guess I would have seen this on like First Choice or Super Channel off pay TV. We have Time Walker. Yeah, so there you go. It's basically about an alien space mummy that travels through time. Kind of. Sort of like that. Now, the only thing I remember about this movie is it kind of scared the shit out of me as a kid, because when you're a kid, everything's scary. But also, it ends on a cliffhanger, and with the words "to be continued" blazed across the screen, and they never did a sequel. So, to be continued. Never. Great. Good job, guys. Anyway, yeah. I think I actually own this 3 times over now, because there was, let me just see if I can find it. Hold on a second. Don't mind the incredibly white legs here. There it is. Found it. Found it. Yeah, so I got this a while back. It's the Roger Corman's Cult Classics All-Night Horror Movie Marathon. Vampires, Mummies, and Monsters, 2-disc special edition. So we got Time Walker. So I have it on VHS now, DVD, and now Blu-ray. So I got my Time Walker covered. And then, of course, the Velvet Vampire, which, as you know, I have on Laserdisc, which I talked about a while back. Well, now I also have it on Blu-ray. This one I especially wanted to get. This was the one that I really had my eye on, because I've just always loved this as a cheesily bad, low-budget vampire movie. It's really, really cheesy. Oh, I can't show you the inside because there's nudity. Never mind. Anyway, there's naked women on the inside. You want to check that out. It's pretty awesome. Well, one naked woman lying in a coffin with a dead guy. Hot. Just trust me. Go pick this up while they're still available. There's only like 5 of them left. Go. Actually, no, I have no idea how many are left. But I know during the sale, a lot of people were snapping up the limited editions simply because they were limited editions. I grabbed them because I wanted the movies. I didn't want to miss out on them because they're limited editions. But, yeah. So, Velvet Vampire I've always enjoyed. It's because it's kind of special to me because it's one of the first sort of, you know, so bad it's good movies that I really enjoyed for its badness. Yeah, so pretty cool. I guess I'll quickly go over the extras here. So Velvet Vampire, we've got audio commentary with stars Celeste Yarnall. She's the one who actually plays the Velvet Vampire. It's pretty cool. Photo gallery and theatrical trailer. Time Walker. Did we find out what happened to the sequel? I don't know, maybe. Interviews with producer Dimitri Villard and actor Kevin Brophy, and the theatrical trailer. Up from the Depths. Come on, you better have some effects stuff on here. Making of featurette. There you go. So there's probably some stuff about the creature effects in there. TV and radio spots and theatrical trailer. Prison. This is a deluxe collector's edition. We've got to have more on here. Yeah, so we got audio commentary with director Rennie Harlan. Hard Time, The Making of Prison, an all-new retrospective with director Rennie Harlan, producer Irwin Yablin, screenwriter C. Courtney Joyner, stunt coordinator Kane Hodder. Yes, back when he was just a stunt guy. But, well, actually, no, 1988, I guess he would have also been doing the Friday the 13th movies around the same time. Executive producer Charles Band, composer Richard Band. We got the Band brothers again. Here we go. You just can't get away from them. They're everywhere. Production designer Phil Duffin, production assistant Patrick Denver, and others. Poster and still gallery and original first draft screenplay. Robot Jocks. We've got 2 all-new audio commentaries, new and archival interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and more. There's a lot of, well, not a lot, but I found a few behind-the-scenes photos, nice high-resolution photos from this online. Just look up Robot Jocks on Google Images, and you should find a bunch of them. It's pretty cool. Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin. We have, holy crap, we got a lot. New high-definition transfer presented in both 2D and 3D. New High Noon at the End of the Universe featurette, including interviews with director Charles Band, actor Jeffrey Byron, actor Richard Mole, actor Tim Thomerson, screenwriter Alan J. Adler, composer Richard Band, and more. An extensive promotional and behind-the-scenes still gallery, radio spot, and theatrical trailers. A very nice addition indeed. This one's pretty bare bones. Millennium, you've got the theatrical trailer and the alternate ending, which I did not know existed. I watched that. It's pretty interesting. I don't know which one do I prefer, you're wondering. Well, there's kind of a 2001-esque moment in the alternate ending that I kind of dig, just because I like that sort of, slit scan effect. But the rest of it, honestly, I think the more understated theatrical ending works a little better. And then r.o.t.o.r, you get the theatrical trailer, whoop-de-doo. And then finally, Psycho 4, we've got audio commentary with director Mick Garris and actors Olivia Hussey and Henry Thomas, and behind-the-scenes footage. That's pretty cool. You get both young Norman and Mother in the commentary. So, there you go. Alrighty, so not a bad stack of additions to the Scream Factory collection. It had been a while since I'd bought some of them, mainly because HMV went tits up. But, yeah, big thanks to Scream Factory. Everything arrived safe and sound. They packed it in a nice, sturdy cardboard box, so nothing got jostled around, nothing is damaged, everything arrived in perfect shape. So, big kudos to Scream Factory and Shout Factory and all the fine folks over there for all the fine work that they do. Alrighty, that is it for this Fright Night Friday movie update. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. So quick thank you to you for watching, and to my Patreon sponsors for being Patreon sponsors. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate the support and helping to keep the magic alive. Alright, we'll see you next time. Until then, sayonara.